Season 3 just dropped in CLM, and honestly, this feels bigger than just a normal game update, because this isn't only important for CLM players. This update is important for Cross itself.
CLM has been one of the biggest games carrying activity, grinding culture, and player competition inside the Cross ecosystem.
And now with level 120 progression, second class advancement, and the final 10 million crystal event, it feels like Cross is entering a completely different phase alongside the game.
This video is just the overview, because in my next videos we're going to deeply break down the best leveling methods, advanced classes, farming routes, and which builds could dominate the Season 3 meta. But for now, let's talk about why this update feels like a turning point for both CLM and Cross. At first glance, increasing the level cap to 120 might sound simple, but this changes the entire progression loop of the game. Before Season 3, a lot of endgame players were already capped out. People were farming, sure, but many players were waiting for a reason to seriously grind again.
Now, everybody has that reason. Every level toward 120 means more stat points, stronger scaling, higher combat power, and access to harder content. But what makes this update smart is that the game scaled with the players.
The Segel Dungeon, Equipment Dungeon, and Winter Dungeon were all expanded to support level 120 progression, so the grind didn't just get longer.
It became more demanding. Players now need better optimization, better farming efficiency, better gear progression, and stronger party coordination. And honestly, this is important not just for gameplay, but for the cross economy too. Because whenever progression expands, player activity increases.
Season 3 basically injected new life into the game loop again, and you can already feel players becoming way more active because of it. Now this is the update everybody has been waiting for, second class advancement. Once players reach level 100, they can begin their advancement quest through the Employment Center Director in a limb.
And this is where classes stop feeling basic and start developing real identity. Warrior becomes Sword Saint, Knight becomes Paladin, Mage becomes Cryomancer, Cleric becomes Inquisitor, Jester becomes Assassin, Hunter becomes Archer, and Gourmet becomes Chef.
But honestly, this update is bigger than just cool names. Every advanced class now has exclusive skills, different strengths, and specialized gameplay styles.
Some classes become stronger in PvE grinding, others become more dangerous in PvP. Some become burst-focused, others become frontline monsters, and right now, nobody fully knows what the strongest meta actually is yet. The update also introduced Ancient Core, a new material tied to post-advancement progression, meaning Season 3 isn't just giving players stronger classes, it's creating an entirely new layer of long-term character building. That's why the community feels so alive at the moment. People are experimenting non-stop, testing builds, comparing damage, learning rotations, and theory crafting new strategies. And this phase is always one of the best moments in any MMO, because for a short time, everything feels undiscovered again.
This matters a lot for Cross, because systems like this increase long-term player retention. The deeper the progression becomes, the longer players stay invested in the ecosystem. Now let's talk about the reason everybody suddenly started grinding like crazy. The final 10 million crystal event. This is probably one of the biggest competitive moments CLM has had so far. Because players aren't just farming for progression anymore. They're fighting for crystal rewards tied to rankings and seasonal performance.
That's why players are
speed leveling, optimizing parties, farming non-stop, and rushing class advancement immediately. Because the combination of level 120, stronger classes, expanded dungeons, and crystal rewards basically transforms Season 3 into a full server-wide race. And from a Cross perspective, this is huge. Competitive events like this create activity, engagement, and visibility across the ecosystem. People grind harder. Communities become more active. Guild competition becomes more serious. And honestly, this feels like one of the most important moments Cross has had through gaming so far. Overall, Season 3 feels less like a normal update and more like CLM and Cross entering a brand new era together. The progression is deeper, the competition is harder, and the ecosystem feels more alive than ever. But this is only the beginning, because in the next videos, we're going to deeply break down best leveling methods, second-class builds, farming efficiency, skill setups, and which classes could dominate the Season 3 meta.